Computer. Yep. Okay, so welcome everyone for Best Academy's summer camp orientation. I know many of you may have questions and some of them might be similar questions. So we thought that it would be great to have just everyone here at the same time throughout the week. So if you attend today's session, that doesn't mean you have to attend every single other ones for the rest of the week. So, but if you do have additional questions from this session, and if you don't get to ask, you're welcome to join the other sessions or send us an email. With that said, I'm gonna actually start with a poll here. Oh, here. So if you can indicate which program your student is enrolled, you can, if you have multiple children, you can choose more than one options. Just for the sake of showing which welcome package we're gonna use as an example. There are 21 of you, so I'll keep this up until I have like at least 70, 80% of you. All right. For those of you that are coming, for those of you that are connecting right now, welcome. Let me know if you can't see a simple poll that I'm currently casting. And yeah, please have all of your cameras off because it's just easier to see all parts of the screen that I'm sharing with everyone. Okay, we'll just wait until we hit 20. Yep. So it's a close race between full day enrichment, GT, and TJ. Do we have a tiebreaker here? Because I'm just trying to see which welcome package that I want to use as an example. All right. Okay. So
never mind. That's all he gets. That's all.
All right. Ms. Courtney, can you just help me with making sure everyone else stays muted?
Yeah,
and
I
their
got it.
cameras are off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard with just one screen. I'm used to having multiple screens. So, okay, I'm gonna end it here. Oh, 92% of you have voted. Share the result. Yeah, so I'm gonna use GT as the example for this evening. But you know, for other parents with students in different programs, it's very similar to the GT package with the exception of SAT and TJ. I think they may have less, but make sure you know, after our session is over this evening, go check them out. So I guess I kind of predicted our results. So I actually already have the 3rd and 6th grade GT welcome package pulled up. If you're not sure what welcome package is, we actually recently sent out an email that looks like this with Dr. Lee. And at the bottom of his welcome email, we had like these buttons where depending on what you've signed up, you click on one of these buttons and it leads you to, you know, a folder that looks like this on our Google Drive. And if you don't have access to it, or if you did not receive a welcome package that looks like an email that looks like this, make sure to leave your email address on our chat. Ms. Courtney and Ms. Mary is gonna grab all of those emails and then we'll make sure that we add you to our mailing list. Any questions so far about our welcome package? If you do have a question, you can use our chat function, or you can just come off mute and ask using your microphone. Okay, so it looks like we'll just start. Okay, so the first first file is called, so I number them from 1 through 8. So I want you to kind of open and read them in order from 1 to 8. First one is the one that you just read on our constant contact email list. It's the same email, but just wanted to put it here in case you want to read them later. We're just very grateful. I think he outlined that this is our 27th annual summer enrichment camp. So Best Academy has been around since 1994. We've done many summer camps, like, for Dr. Lee and Mr. Moon, they probably can do it with their eyes closed. However, last year and the year before, well, actually, in the beginning, like March of 2019. So before we started our summer camp, the global pandemic happened, and we had to basically do all of our summer camp programs virtually for the first time in 5+ years. And thankfully, it went very well, but we missed out on a lot of families that just weren't really comfortable with online learning at that time because it was new for a lot of these families. And fast forwarding to this year, we have somewhat of a normalcy back. We have limited number of in-person students that are coming to our campus every day. We're very much looking forward to having you on campus. And for those of you who live very far or not yet completely comfortable with coming on campus, or if you just simply missed out on the limited number of seats, you will be joining virtually with us. And this will be our very first hybrid summer camp. So it is a new territory for everyone. It's not going to be perfect, but we really ask for everyone's patience. And we, even with our normal camp schedule, we've always had to improvise and make sure that everyone is on the same page. And every year is a little bit different, but this year I think will be a new challenge for everyone. And we want to just make sure that our students and as well as our parents get the experience that you guys have been expecting. We have a lot of new families. We're very fortunate to have a lot of new families, as well as our previous families or returning families on board this year. A lot of you weren't really happy with your base school's level of work and challenges that were given to the students. So we will make sure that we quite simply kick everyone's butt over the summer, so that when they go back to school in the fall, they'll thrive. They'll not only just spend time catching up, but they'll already have done that over the summer with us. So they'll be in great shape by the time they start their school in the fall. So the second file, this one's really important. So I'm not going to read word for word for you because everyone else you guys can just go ahead and read it on your own. But I want to just highlight a couple things. So hybrid class content, sorry, not class content, hybrid/concurrent classes and schedule. So hybrid classes and concurrent classes are two same, with the two different words with same definition. So it just means in-person students and online students are coming and joining in the same classroom at once. So just talks about how we had to do online last year, but this year we can have our students back. All of our teachers are here on campus. So we're gonna actually have our training with our teachers. So all the teachers that we hired actually have experience in teaching in a concurrent class model. So, but because we use Zoom, other schools use Blackboard Ultra, so on and so forth. We just want to make sure that all of our teachers are comfortable with the platforms that we use. So we'll meet with them tomorrow to make sure that they're on board and they're comfortable with everything they'll be using to teach our students. For those of you who are interested in, so every year Dr. Lee used to travel to El Salvador with a group of high school students. But this year we unfortunately can't do it. We couldn't do it last year. And this year after many sleepless nights for Dr. Lee, we decided that we should just wait until next year when everyone is vaccinated and we figured out this COVID situation. But for those of you that are interested, those of you that are already in high school, this will be a great opportunity for you to rack up about 200 hours of community service in El Salvador. We'll be teaching English, we'll be painting homes, constructing new homes for a group of like a small village in El Salvador. And we go through the organization called Habitat for Humanity. For online students only, so for students that are here in person, everything will be given to you in your classroom. But those of you that are joining us virtually, you can kind of check out June 9th or June 10th. We just do it by, by alphabet and last name. But if you have trouble coming to joining us in a designated time frame, just give us a call so that we can have yours ready, because we have a system right now where we have from 11 to 12, we'll have everyone's last name who starts with A through H. We'll just have them handy, but say your last name starts with a P, but you can't make it at 5 o'clock, so you want to come in at 11, just give us a heads up by calling. Our phone number is 703-978-0008, or you can just look them up on the internet. The academic calendar, we actually have a separate file for this. And I would strongly advise you to just print this one out and just stick it on the refrigerator. I don't want students to show up, on the 4th of July weekend or anything like that. And etiquette or rules. So we also have a separate document for the etiquette and rules. Homework, basically, if you miss out on 2 homework assignments, you will be called. I'm talking to the students here. We're going to actually call your home to address that. We do have our principal's office too, and you want to be in there for all the right reasons, right? Not because you didn't do your homework. So we take homework very seriously. If you have trouble with keeping up our homework assignments, do let us know. So we have a lot of high school students wanting to have their volunteer hours for their college application. And we have some really bright high school students. I've personally worked with many of them. And through the past year, they were so happy because they were able to, accumulate their volunteer hours very safely. And for our younger students who's been receiving help, they thought that really thought that it was helpful for them. Number 6, so instead of calling our Blackboard system Blackboard, we use something called Jupiter Ed. For our returning customers, they probably know what this is. For the new customers, we will be sending you an invitation to join very shortly. Students have their own Jupiter Ed account, and parents have their own as well. This is why we, Miss Mary, we've been asking you to provide a different email for students other than the ones that you provided for the parents. And I know some of the students are too young to have an email address, and that's fine, because if you are a rising first grader, you probably don't have your own email address, and you probably will need your mom or your dad, your guardian's help in accessing the homework material anyway. So for really, really young students, we get it. But for students from 3rd grade and up, they catch on very quickly. They would like to make sure that they don't miss out on any homework that is posted. Of course, the teachers mention, their homework assignments in class. But say, somebody was absent for a certain day and they want to figure out what the homework assignment was, the best place to go is Jupiter Ed. And for our parents, I think you will really enjoy using it too, because every Friday, whether you like it or not, you will receive a report card for your child. So every Friday around 4 o'clock, I think, it just do a roundup of all the grades that they have accumulated throughout the week. And you can kind of see a bird's eye view of where they are with letter grades. So let's just say, John had an A+ in language arts, but then the following Friday, when you get an email, it dropped to B+, and you're wondering why. So the parents can log into Jupiter Ed system on their own with using their own email address, and they can kind of see, oh, Johnny really didn't do well on his test. He turned in all the homework assignments, but he didn't do well on his test, so forth. So it's very important that everyone gets signs up to have access to Jupiter Ed. And also, some of the parents love communicating with their teachers, right? And the students too, students as well as parents. Without sharing your personal email, you can use the Jupiter Ed platform to send emails directly. So if you just type in one of the teacher's name, it'll show up, or there's a drop-down menu where you have all of your child's teachers all in the same list. So you can contact whoever you need to, as well as our admin staff here. We encourage reading. So many of you, if not all of you, have tested with me or Miss Courtney or with Mr. Moon if you are joining us with the SAT or TJ Prep program, and you were given a placement exam, right? And one of the things that we stress the most is your reading. and there's no better way to improve on your vocab, writing skills, just pretty much anything that is related to academics by reading a lot of books. So we follow, so here, our program, we work in concert with the Fairfax County Public School Summer Reading Program. There's actually a link to it. So from your welcome package, you can just kind of click on it and you'll be able to see what their recommended list is like. And we also have Accelerated Reader for 1st through 8th graders. I've actually explained how to use it to many of you when we were testing, but if you've forgotten or if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you will see it shortly. Vocab quiz. So this year we will introduce a flexible way to take your daily vocab quiz. So those of you that are new to Best Academy Summer Camp, we have a vocab quiz every day except Friday. So from Monday through Thursday for GT students. I believe our enrichment students have it the same way from Monday through Thursday. But please do go back and read it because I think it's a little bit different for SAT and TJ Prep students. So this year you can log in anytime between 3 p.m. So when the school's over until 11 p.m. Of course, don't wait until 11 to take it. You can take it at your convenience. And GT students are given 20 minutes, and I believe the enrichment students are given 30 minutes because they're a little bit younger. And we will use a program called Right Answer, which can be accessed from our website here. So you can actually click on the word here, and it'll lead you to our website here. Yeah, so these 4 buttons are your best friends this summer. So mybestacademy.com, Right Answer. There's this brown button here. Yeah, so brown button here, Right Answer, daily vocab quizzes. RE is our Renaissance Learning for reading quizzes, and then Jupiter Ed is JU, which I think is the blue button. Lunch, I think many of you had questions during our parent Q&A session about our lunch system. We previously had offered like hot and cold food from a local deli. They would deliver hot lunch to us every day, but this year we decided to skip on that as well. Everyone they must pack their own lunch as well as their snacks. For younger ones, like 1st and 2nd graders, we will have designated snack time. But for 3rd graders and rising 3rd graders and up, you can only consume your snack during lunchtime. And as of now, I haven't checked the latest guideline from the CDC, so I don't know if there was a change. But as of last time when I checked, the social distancing rule was 3 feet in the classroom. So we adjusted our, desk settings and whatnot. But when it comes to eating, it's still 6 feet. So we will designate a special area for students to eat outside, of course, under supervision. So they can, unless the rules change or they get updated, we plan to take turns and have students, eat inside, or if they prefer outside, if they prefer going outside every day, then they can. It's just that we can't have the same number of students that are studying, eating in the same room at the same time. It's a tricky situation right now. I hope CDC addresses that. But that's it for now. So everyone has to bring their own lunch. Absolutely no food sharing. That will appear again in the rules and regulations, I think. After school club activities. So just like a regular school, we offer after school clubs. So you can choose up to 2 programs that you're interested in joining after school. So I think they go from 3:45 to 4:30, I think. But they'll have another hour to, we have like origami club, drama club, yearbook club, many different types of club activities. And for those of you that are wondering, hey, I never got the sign-up sheet. Well, they get it at the first week of classes. So towards the end of the first week, we will send you a PDF document saying, hey, please sign up for 1 or 2 club activities that you might be interested in joining. They're completely free. So it'll be great if they have something that they're interested in learning more about or doing more about. I think every year it's been very popular for a lot of our students. You can't join more than 2 because we just have limited space for these club activities. And of course, if the demand is really high for, let's just say origami club, then we will try to open up more sessions. But it's first time, first serve. So let's say we have 10 spots available for origami. The first 10 papers that we receive from you, and it's all done electronically, so we can keep track of who's done it faster than the others. And we'll figure out if it's going to be really, really full or popular. We'll try to address it as best as we can. Number 11 is very important: morning arrival and PM dismissal procedures. So I actually pulled up a Google map here. So there will be 2 entrances that's leading up to Best Academy's building, right? So this is Braddock Road, and this is Rolling Road, and we have the gas station here, we have Giant here, and then we have the Wells Fargo Bank here. So if you're coming from McLean area, from 495, you will be coming this way. If you're coming from Fairfax, like George Mason, Burke, you might be coming in this way, right? But regardless of which entrance you use, our kiss and ride, oh, actually, you can see it here. This is our kiss and ride right here. So this is actually a parking lot that we have. And if you use a GPS, it'll lead you to the front side of the building where we have the Best Academy signs. But AM and PM pickup will all be done here, except for our TJ prep students. So advanced STEM TJ prep students will have a separate kiss and ride here because you guys will be in the first floor, but everyone else will be using their second floor, and you can come through the Rolling Road area. So even if you're coming on Braddock, so from 495, Braddock, and if you can't come here, you would have to drive to this side to use the kiss and ride. So just, I always do this myself too, because it's kind of dangerous to make that left turn here anyway. So unless you're in a TJ prep program, try not to use this Braddock Road entrance, but go one more and take a left turn on Rolling so that you can just come in and out very quickly. So I know it's kind of hard to see on Google Maps, but if you do it like once or twice, you'll figure it out. It's very easy. So you can use the first 30 minutes before and after. So our first period begins at 9 o'clock. So from 8:30, we will allow, I mean, you can show up earlier than 8:30, but we won't be able to admit your child from your car to our classroom until it reaches 8:30. And then we're dismissed at 3 o'clock. From 3 to 3:30, you can show up in a kiss and ride, and we will bring your child from the building. So I know if you have like rising first grader who's coming to school for the very first time, you want to really walk your child to the classroom, but we really try to make that happen. But our building is not like FCPS, where it's a huge physical building. It's a pretty sizable building, but it'll quickly get crowded if all the parents decide to just walk their kids to the classroom. So Dr. Lee will actually be there outside in the Kiss and Ride section. And we will have volunteers to escort your child from your car to our classroom. And I really ask for your understanding here because we want to minimize foot traffic as much as we can for safety concerns, right? Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to put it. So for younger students, we make sure that our escort, our high school students, middle school students, we have all designated entrance doors in our building. So here, going back to Google Maps. So if you do the Kiss and Ride section here, we have an entrance door here, an entrance door here, entrance door here, and here. So our TJ Prep students will have their own little Kiss and Ride. Everyone else will be using this big Kiss and Ride drop-off station. And depending on your program, so high school students will use this door. Elementary, middle school students will have a little staircase here, and then they'll enter the building this way. So we have dedicated entrances for different programs, and our escorts knows that best. But if we have our parents start coming in, it's going to be really crowded, and we don't want any sort of crowdedness in the building, especially. So please, read them. Routine, yeah, I just explained the routine to you. So that's it. Others will go faster. What time is it right now? Yeah, so it's 5:28. So the other is pretty self-explanatory. So this is the third file, is our calendar. And so this is something that I recommend you to print, stick it on the refrigerator or next to the student's desk. We observe the Independence Day on 7/5, Monday. And we have like these different spirit days. So on this day, Thursday, June 24th, everyone gets brownie points for wearing a hat, right? And week 2 is pajama day. So even if you're connecting with us virtually, you can wear your pajama day and get your brownie points. And what I mean by brownie points is that you get to be featured on our yearbook. And for those of you that are coming in person, of course, you can wear your PJ to show up to our school campus, which is really fun. So please do read through this document, print it if you want. Rules and regulations. This was briefly explained on the first file, but students must all respect each other, be on time. Schedule will be given to you if you're connecting with us virtually. So for this one, we asked everyone to actually have their video camera off, right? Because we're just sharing information. But students that are joining us, whether it is TJ Prep or SAT Prep, regardless of which program you use, your camera must remain on at all times. If you don't have that on, then we're gonna call your home. There's no possible way for us to know if you're there on the other side of the screen or not, if you don't have your cameras on. And so this is our school policy. Must not have any food or snacks during instruction time for safety reasons. Do not use your cell phone to join. So this also talks to our virtual students, virtual online students. If you use your phone to join a classroom, not only is your screen small, you won't be able to participate because it's very limited. The Zoom is very limited function on the phone. No electronics. Don't miss 3 homework assignments or a phone call will be made, so on and so forth. So 5th file is the detailed instruction on how to take your daily vocab quizzes. And please do take these tests every day because it really does help with your reading and writing, especially for SAT students. This is your bread and butter to raise your scores. This is just a picture from our first file. So if you go to mybestacademy.com website, these are different buttons that you'll be using over the summer. And it's basically telling you what these are, what these buttons do for you. Okay. So for enrichment and GT students, you've taken your placement test with me and Ms. Courtney. And this is where you go. Your username is your first and last name. So if my name is James Lee, that's your username. And everyone has the same password. And there's no reason to go into other people's account, because it just shows their progress on how many books that they've read and what kind of books they read. So we just have the same password for everybody. And you can just copy and paste this link to your browser, and or you can click on Renaissance Learning here, click on a student. And yeah, last person I tested was Mark. And yeah, so Mark, oh yeah, he has something in progress already. Here are the books that he's been reading. He completed reading a book a day ago. This is really good tool for the parents too, because say Mark read the Lion and the Witch in the Wardrobe. I'm just gonna type here. Hit search. And the covers match. So let's say Mark finished reading. Hey, Mom, I just finished reading The Lion, Witch in the Wardrobe. And Mrs. Sunohara can log in with Mark, and they can take a reading quiz to make sure that Mark actually understood everything, right? So before COVID, the company only allowed parents and students to take these exams in the school campus, but they lifted the restriction during COVID. So we're paying a lot of money to have this in place. So I would try to use this as much as you can, because you can really see your progress. Sorry, Mark, if you're here today. But where is it? Yeah, so it looks like he took 2 tests. This is a ZPD score, Lexile range. So it really shows how many books that he's read on which date and so forth. So thank you, Mark. But please use it as much as you can. I mean, there's no restrictions on how many tests you can take. But, I always told you, try to read at least one book every week, right? I told you that, Miss Courtney told you that. And this is where you can take your exams. And this one is for our in-person only students, okay? But this is probably the most important file from our welcome package. So please read through these. And they're gonna initial their names here. It's gonna look slightly different. So you don't have to print them out, okay? The great thing about our forms to fill and sign, it can be done all digitally if you have Adobe readers. Initials, it just covers everything that we talked about, plus the illness and injury, and also our transportation too. Medical form, yeah, and transportation agreement here. So we need these forms because it's impossible to social distance in a car, right? So on Fridays, when enrichment students and GT students are going to the pool, we would have to transport them from Best Academy. It's a 5-minute ride, but if you're not feeling, if you're not confident about, sending your child in our van to be transported back and forth, you can actually pick your child up early on Friday before we go to the pool. Or if you want to drive them yourselves, you definitely can. And you can stay and we swim for about 1:45 to 2 hours. And then you can just pick them up and take them home from there. But yeah, please go through this file and initials and signs, signatures. So that's it. The gist of it, if you kind of joined in the middle of our session, this is a 3-minute recap. So there was an email that was sent from us, from Dr. Lee. And it looks like this, right? And you click on any of these programs that you're enrolled in, to have access to something called our summer welcome package. And I just used our GT program as an example, but depending on which button you clicked here, you will be led to one of these folders here, right? So SAT students have something here. This is something different from others because we want you to volunteer over the summer. So check out what's being sent here. And I just went over what's in the welcome package, right? I didn't read it word for word for you, but you get the general knowledge of what we're trying to accomplish this summer from this welcome package. So that's it in terms of what I have this evening. Stop sharing here. Yes, thank you for dropping your email. So Ms. Courtney, so Ms. Cheryong, I see that you shared your email information here, but if you can actually send that direct message to Ms. Courtney, I won't be able to take it, write it down because I'm actually joining from a hospital right now. So I don't have anything to write on right now. So actually, Ms. Courtney, it'll be easier if you share your email address here. And if you have not received that email that I just showed you, check your junk email folder. If you still don't see it, we will send them to you if you share your email address here. Or send it to Ms. Courtney saying, hey, Ms. Courtney, I didn't get the welcome package. Can you resend it to me? And we'll be happy to send it again. But you have, today's Monday, so you have the whole week to kind of dissect, what we're trying to accomplish over the summer. And I believe our welcome package does a really good job of kind of showing you the entire picture of how our summer is being run. There's a reason why we have had it for 27 years, right? And we want to keep it awesome the same way. Yeah. Oh, great. Great. So any questions? I know that was a lot of information and you could have easily just looked at it one by one, but if I just tell you to, hey, just look at this, most of you don't. So we call this an orientation where students can, and the parents can join and ask any questions that they have. So you can use the chat function to share your question, or you can come off mute and we'll just address it as best as we can. And I think we're doing great in terms of our time here. So it's 5:40. No questions. Oh, here. Andy, is there a possibility for online students to attend selective days in person? Great question. So right now the answer is no, but we're hopeful that we can bring back more students as the restrictions get lifted, right? So we're always trying to figure out, hey, can we, bring more people on campus? The answer right now is no, but we're very hopeful that that could be possible. And another thing, if you are online, if you're participating online, but if you really want to join our pool on Friday, then you're gonna have to sign a different waiver, right? Because for students that are coming in person, they're filling out the COVID survey every single day, right, through our Jupiter Ed. But if you haven't, then we can't, there's no coverage that we can offer. So, when you're ready to come back, just double check with us. And I don't have a protocol for that right now, but we will have something in place where if you want to join in person in selective days, we will try our best to make that happen. But it's not the way it is right now. Forgot to pull email earlier. Oh yeah. Please share your email address with us. And if you didn't receive the welcome package, don't worry. Today is Monday and we have the whole week for you to review that. And you just saw me reviewing it with you. And I hope my internet connection was okay. I'm using my phone as a hotspot. But yeah, I'm very excited for this summer, especially because I try to get to know everyone in the program. But last year was really tough because everyone was online. But this year we have some students in person. And I think the great thing about our online program, and I'm sure you've heard this already from me, but if what's really great about our online platform is that virtual students can freely participate anytime, right? As well as our in-person students that are here in classroom, because we will have several cameras in our classrooms, as well as a big screen. Students that are connecting with us at home can see, hear, and talk to students that are here in person and vice versa. Our teachers and our in-person students can see, hear, and communicate with our online students. So that's something that we're very excited in sharing, and we call it hybrid classroom format, but I think it's going to go really well. Our classroom size on average, I think it's around 6 to 8. Some classes have, I think 10 or 12. Some classes have 4, 5. So I think it averages out to about 5 or 6 or 7 students per classroom. But yeah, we'll try our best. I mean, like I said, this is a new territory for everyone, but we're very confident based on our success that we had last year. We're very confident that this year will go very well too. Any other questions? For the Renaissance website, is the password the same for all grades? So the 9th through 12th graders don't have Renaissance Learning. This is for our GT and enrichment students. So our TJ and SAT prep students will have a different, the right answer program to take their tests every 2 weeks. But if you are just, if you absolutely want this, for your child, we can give you access to it. It's just that for like our high school students, it's difficult to kind of select the books that are available, because it is Renaissance Learning is targeted towards our elementary and middle school students. Yeah, because you didn't see it in the 9th through 12th grades folder because that wasn't offered. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I'm here to explain. Anyone else? Caitlin, if you can actually reach out to me. Oh no. If your child has a common name, like James Lee is a very common name. We have several James Lees. There might be a middle initial, like James S. Lee. The Renaissance Learning is just for 1st through 8th graders for enrichment, and 3rd through 6th graders in our GT program. If your child is enrolled in our TJ Prep or Advanced STEM or SAT, you don't have Renaissance Learning. But for Caitlin, if you can send an email to me saying, hey, this is Caitlin, I don't know what my username is, I'll look it up and send it to you. Anyone else? Yep, so our in-person students will fill out a survey every day. So there will be something sitting in your email every morning, right? So it'll be automatically sent out, I think around midnight to 1 a.m. for a new COVID survey. So it's a 5-question survey, like, does your child has this symptom? Blah, 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 right? So it's yes or no kind of thing. And depending on what you choose, it'll tell you what to do. But if you answered yes to any of those 5 questions, then you may not bring your child to our campus. And it is absolutely necessary for everyone to fill out the survey every day. I know it could be tedious, but we try to make it as short as possible and as informative as possible. But one bad case can lead to, it can ruin everyone's experience, right? We want to keep our teachers, our staff, and our students, as well as our parents safe. That's why we're going through all this together. So please be on the lookout. Make sure you check your email each morning. And fill out the survey if you're coming here in person. Hopefully, next year we don't have to deal with extra steps like this. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any more questions, but I share my email here. If you have additional questions, please do, please let me know if you have any questions, but I'm also at the hospital. My wife delivered a child over the weekend, so I'm stuck here until tomorrow. I will try my absolute best to get back to you as soon as possible. But in the meantime, if you have something urgent, we have Miss Courtney and Miss Mary here, as well as Mr. Moon. So you can call the school campus and, we'll be there to help you with your questions. Oh, thank you, Liz. All right, well, I'm gonna stop recording here.